Frankenstein's got a journal.
Ash, is Vamp explaining? What?
Clown stuck in the house.
Elena side to Damon? Huh?
Do I have your attention?
Yep.
Good. Now let's talk about vampires.
Let's go. Season 5. Hear me out.
At Rebecca's kegger with Elaine and friends, taking shots like Jordan Connor, that is, in the paint like Shaq. Fix it in post. You remember when we drove coast to coast, driving to LA, Cavalier and a U-Haul, even though that car was too small. Whipping around the Grand Canyon, trying not to fall in. Even when we rode, we were still ball in. By the bay, listen to Frank Ocean. Pour some coffee, I'll see you in 10.
Just give me the cue. I'll do whatever you want.
Mo money, mo problems, but I'm counting in the sweet spot. PD's on the track when the beat's hot.
Now let's talk about vampires.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries, the Vampire Diaries podcast, where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a super fan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular PT. Let's just say I put the PT in Vampire, but please call me Pete. And I'm here with my co-host and co-parent Ash. Ash, hello.
Arr, mateys. You were the titular PT.
Arr, I'm the titular PT. I'm Enzo, love.
There you go.
I'm Captain Enzo.
But I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Ash, I have a gotcha question.
Oh, okay.
All right. It's about the Travelers.
Uh-huh.
How can the Travelers take over the townsfolk of Mystic Falls, and they've been there for however long, if they can't stay in one spot?
That's a good question. I guess they're not there longer than they're allowed to be. But yeah. But they also do still travel around. Like, oh, no, wait. This is the real answer.
Okay.
I got myself confused. The real answer is they can be in other people's bodies and be in one spot, but they can't be in their own bodies and be in one spot.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why they are always traveling around, getting in other people's bodies, doing this whole thing. Where even when they're not in other people's bodies, when it's just them, they're always going from place to place. Oh, where are we going now? We're going to this other abandoned whatever, this other abandoned thing.
So, riddle me this. What's the problem with why do they have to do the whole breaking down the other side deal if they could just be an all-traveler Mystic Falls and just have all their bodies in that cave and just...
They don't, because they don't want to. They want to be themselves in their own bodies and be able to have their own place and have their own just way of life.
Kind of a metaphor in some ways.
Yeah, a lot of these supernatural things are metaphors to other things.
For sure.
But yeah, they don't want to be in other people's bodies. They want to be themselves.
Yeah,
with
like...
each other and like have families and just be regular.
Like Maria, R.I.P., I think, doesn't want to bone Ty all the time.
Right.
Julian in Ty's body.
Exactly.
Except maybe she does. I don't know.
I mean, it might work out for a couple of folks.
Yeah.
But I think in general, they want to be able to just be together. And then also, they're really like annoyed by witch magic. That's another piece of it. Mm-hmm. And their magic is like, they think it's like the pure magic.
Right.
And so they also just want to get rid of all the witch magic in general.
Well, there you go. Ash.
I don't know what my first answer was about to be, but I got there.
Yep. That's fine. Ash, tonight we're discussing Season 5, Episode 21, Promised Land. Mm-hmm. That's it. I think this episode had a very long cold open.
It did.
So we'll start there. Damon, wakes up Mr. Sykes. He's head of corporate accounts. He's a businessman. He's some guy in a suit, but actually he's a traveler.
And they're in the mansion.
He's a man about town, though. Mm-hmm. I think I'm using that correct. That doesn't mean like something negative, does it?
No, I feel like I heard someone use it recently.
I'm using it in that he's a guy that people know in the town.
Right. I think that's right.
Okay. He's a traveler. Stefan and Elena have been kidnapped. Mm-hmm. So Damon is trying to get some answers from this regular traveler. There's a clueless hybrid in my basement and a cave full of sleeping travelers. Mm-hmm. And Julian is in Thai.
Permanently, is what they say.
For now, yeah.
Because they did the spell.
Caroline comes in. Oh, yeah. Mr. Sykes works at the bank. And Damon saw this guy and a bunch of travelers chanting. Mm-hmm. They're looking for Marcos.
Marcos.
You know, they haven't said Marcos' last name, but I actually know it. I looked it up.
Oh, yeah? What is it?
Polo. All right, Damon does exposition. Undoing witch curse and all witch magic. That's what these travelers are aiming to do.
Yeah.
They do not like the witch magic.
Correct.
They also want to kill Damon and Caroline because witch magic in some way is
Made
keeping them
vampires.
alive. From back in the day, the original's mom was a witch, and she made her kids into vampires.
Yeah.
How did she become a witch? Witches are just naturally occurring?
I don't know if we know how she became a witch. I think she just was.
All right. All vampires would die. Sloane showed us that with her death.
Correct.
They torture Mr. Sykes.
You sound very knowledgeable, but I was explaining this to you while we were watching it, and then you must have just written it down.
Nothing anyone can do can stop Marcos now, except for if when he says Marcos, you get out of the pool and run away.
And then you say fish out of water.
Oh.
So nothing can get past him.
And if you fart, you yell doorknob.
I forgot about that one.
Elena's close up on her face. There's a dripping sound.
Yeah.
She's dripping blood.
So much blood, actually.
And so is Stefan. The travelers
Buckets.
have them in some cell. Marcos is there. Marcos makes her drink some blood. I guess some not her own blood. That'd be weird.
Right.
Just to, like, keep her alive, I
Yeah,
guess.
just so she sustains human blood, probably. I mean, or animal, but yeah.
Or animal butt.
Animal, but yeah.
It's probably animal butt blood. That's really gross. All right. She spits it on Marcos. She says, "You have enough blood. Let me go." But then he cuts her even more, Ash. One
I
of the
know.
more grotesque shots.
Is this when they do it, like, on her forearm? Is that
Yeah.
what that cut? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
Then Stefan's in a cell, but then someone's freeing him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stefan goes to free Elena.
Right.
Excuse me, I'm burping. Yeah, I'm burping. You're yawning.
I know. I couldn't take up the set the
I know. I was
empty
like,
space.
cover me while I'm burping, and you're like, yeah. But that is our dynamic. I'm always burping, and you're always yawning.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we're both doing both.
Yeah, I yawn into a burp.
Yeah.
Hey, but the best is swallowing during a hiccup.
And also, you love sneezing.
I do love sneezing. Just give me some sneezes.
That's the when, like, if it was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, you would be sneezy.
Oh, is that one of them?
I think so.
Ash, Elena passes out. That was a long cold open.
Super long.
All right, Stefan makes a collect call to Damon, but he doesn't let the call go through. He says, "It's Stefan, we add a baby eats a boy." And Damon just knows what he's talking about. Actually, no, he talks to Damon.
That was a commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I think for like 1-800-COLLECT, or there used to be commercial for the young people listening.
This is a very hard thing to explain.
Collect calls used to be made from a regular on-the-wall phone, not a cell phone, or a payphone, if they know what a payphone is,
Where it's like a public telephone that you pay money to call someone.
with like a quarter.
And, like, because you didn't have a cell phone, you'd have to, like, go to the nearest payphone that'd be, like, at a gas station or something and call somebody.
And if you didn't have a quarter, you could call collect, or you could call collect from your house if you didn't want to pay for the phone call. Anyway, there were companies that did that, like 1-800-COLLECT, 1-800-CALL-ATT. And there was a commercial where a guy didn't want to pay But even if you didn't want to pay, you could still say your name. You're like, hey, it's Pete from Vampire. But instead of that, in this commercial, it was a guy telling his brother-in-law or something that they had a baby. Mm-hmm. We had a baby eats a boy. Bob, we had a baby eats a boy. Mm-hmm. Like he was trying to make it like a last name was we eats a boy or whatever.
Yeah, and he was trying to say it all fast.
Yeah. That's
silly.
a classic commercial. Like also look up collect call commercial on the TikTok or whatever you're looking at. Also look up the Aaron Burr peanut butter or milk. It was for milk. Aaron Burr milk commercial. That was directed by Michael Bay.
Oh, wow, that's cool. You didn't have cable television, but you saw a lot of commercials and you remember them very well. But maybe you remember them so well because you just saw the same ones. Because you were watching the same, 3 channels or something.
We had 5 legit channels.
Okay, so in the same 5 channels, you saw the same commercials over and over. But commercials were so cool then. They were entertainment at the time. If you watch 90s, 2000s, or even 80s commercials, they're cool.
Yeah.
You have to look at them on YouTube, though.
Toy commercials were good.
Mm-hmm. There was, commercials for CDs and stuff that would go on forever.
Yeah, if you currently watch Saturday Night Live, they have commercial parodies.
Yeah. I mean, people still know about commercials, even though we're streaming, because now almost every streaming service has commercials.
Yeah.
But they're not as good as they used to be, just saying.
No. I haven't seen a good commercial in a minute.
Sometimes they don't even make any sense at all these days.
I do like the Peroni's commercial, though.
Oh, yeah, the carrot. All right. That was our first tangent.
All right. Damon didn't find Stefan and Elena, so Stefan's mad. It's the whole, you didn't do this thing, so I'm mad at you for this thing.
Yeah.
You didn't notice that Catherine was me?
I mean, yeah.
There's another one of these later in this episode with that traveler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Elena's hunting for squirrels with a slingshot. They're out in the middle of nowhere.
So they escape, but they don't have anything to eat, and they've been drained of all their blood.
Yeah, so they're trying to eat squirrels.
And she's really bad at it.
They can't whoosh around
to
get the squirrels.
Or even just to get, closer to home.
So they want to find Marcos and kill him and save Mystic Falls. And Damon's going to strap on his hero hair.
I know. Remember when they were training Elena? I think it was Alaric to be able to be a vampire hunter, but also she wasn't really a vampire hunter, but just be able to fight. They didn't teach her how to use a slingshot.
No.
I also think it's funny that Elena and Stefan think that it's funny that they can't whoosh.
Yeah.
But then also they're like, oh, that actually is funny, but it's also kind of sad.
Yeah. All right. Damon's at the Bros Mansion. Enzo is up to his tricks of being a ghost of sorts.
Ghost trickery.
He hits him with a knife, though. Bonnie can see both of them and is translating for Enzo. Damon promised that he'd bring Enzo back, but he was just kind of flippantly saying that.
He was, because he didn't have a plan, but in his heart he wants to bring him back. That's his best friend.
Well, sure, he wants to.
Right, but he doesn't know how he's going to do it, even though he promised it to Enzo.
Enzo throws liquor into the fire.
What a shame.
Damon again lies that Liv is making a spell.
Yeah.
And hitch a ride with Bonnie from the other side.
Well, that's because Damon thinks it's true.
Oh, at this point?
Yeah. Only Bonnie is the liar in this scenario, because everyone else believes her because she's been able to do that before, Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh, yeah, Bonnie's going to do it.
Jeremy comes in. Damon needs him and his Xbox buddies to run errands. Mm-hmm. Sweet bird. Elena and Stefan are trying to hitchhike. Stefan whooshes but can't go very far. They talk about Damon. He's in hero mode. Mm-hmm. Elena's blood can destroy Damon. It's a sign they're in a toxic relationship. They didn't say that? I said that?
No, I think they said that.
Oh, okay. Stefan
You were
said...
getting deep with it.
Stefan says, it's okay, just be with Damon if you want to be with him.
Yeah, I think that Stefan really means this when he says it. Like, I think before he's been like, just be with him then.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this time he's like, just, you guys, I just would rather you both be happy and together than miserable apart. Now I'm speaking the truth.
Whoa. I think that he should propose that they cut the Elena in half and each brother gets half.
There you go. Perfect solution.
That's what I would do. Okay, Liv and Luke are at a diner. They got waffles. Ash, the coven is mad. Mm-hmm. Don't you hate it when that happens?
Oh, yeah.
Luke was supposed to hide Stefan and Elena from the travelers, but he didn't do it well.
Yeah, no, because they got captured.
But he likes them and their friends.
Yeah, because they've been kind of chill towards Luke.
The witches start squishing Luke's head, though.
We can't see them, though.
No, the 100 dead witches. But Liv and Luke were supposed to keep the doppelgangers from Marcos. Mm. But now Liv and Luke have to kill Stefan and Elena, or they'll get their magic taken away.
Right. So they're trying to prevent Marcos no matter what.
Yeah.
And the safer, better thing would just be keep him away from the doppelgangers. Now they weren't able to do that. So now they're like, well, we got to kill one. Which, that's a bad second plan. They should have been like, let's rescue them.
Yeah. Well.
But now he's just got to kill them because Marcos already has them and already has their blood. Mm-hmm.
All right, here's the weirdo part. All right, Mrs. Douglas, we just see like Sam rolling up, Sam the mailman or whatever, rolling up to Mrs. Douglas with a vial of doppelganger blood, which we have no earlier. Yeah, like we know that they drain the blood. We didn't see them like put it in vials. That'd be a cool scene. A bunch of these travelers like put it in the vial.
Yeah.
Speaking Latin and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, and this scene does seem random, especially. I mean, for a long time until you see towards the end with them with the vials. Yeah,
and it's a scene to show what happens all over town. Like, we see one scene of what's happening all over town, presumably.
Right.
So she lies to some guy, it's her husband, and then it isn't Pam, it's Karl, who is traveling in... Pam's body. I didn't get the husband's name, but...
Yeah, she's like...
He didn't notice, so she burns him for it. The whole, Catherine was in me. Right. How did you not know?
If somebody else possessed my body and you didn't notice, I'd be mad.
Okay, so we are saying we'd be mad about that?
Yes, you should definitely know. I feel like it would be
But didn't we say earlier
that
the Catherine Elena one, Catherine did a good job?
Yeah, she did. I mean, it'd be hard, but you should still know. Especially if we live together and we've been married for so long, like...
Well, yeah.
She was just bopping around, and so people were just getting little bits and pieces, and she was doing a lot of it, like, over the phone and stuff.
Yeah, I think I'd probably be able to tell if you were Karl or somebody.
I think so. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to wake up early and go to the gym.
Uh-huh.
You really...
I'm like, Karl, get out of her body.
What are you doing?
She tells him the whole deal. Okay, she does exposition, or Karl does exposition. All the travelers are in a cave under the town. She stabs him in the neck with a pair of scissors. Mm-hmm.
And she's like...
Karl does.
Yeah, and Karl, as Pam, says, like, their marriage was doomed anyways, or something like that. Like, a little commentary.
Yeah, Karl. Karl, we didn't need to hear that. Elena and Stefan are still walking, talking about Caroline now. It's like, this little walk we'll talk about Damon. This little walk we'll talk about Caroline. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're walking a long time.
Caroline is delusional and a control freak.
Says Elena, not Stefan.
A car comes in that moment. Elena gets into hot mode, I said. Like, she's trying to get this
but you missed
person to slow down for the hitchhiking.
Yes, but you missed one joke. When they were talking about Caroline, they were like, well, then let's do what Caroline would do. A car better come right now. Like, they just started acting like Caroline, and then it kind of worked. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, what? And then Elena's like, I know how I can get in this car.
I skipped that because that was inconsequential. to me.
But it was some fun moment for them.
They liked it.
Yeah.
They bonded over it.
Yeah, they did.
It's Maria, the traveler. Stefan tries to compel her, but it doesn't work. She freed him last night. She wants her BF back.
Which is
Julian,
in Ty's body.
Julian in Ty's body. Ash, Jeremy, and Matt
You're doing a good job of keeping it all straight, Pete.
are bringing traveler husks
Ew.
into the Bros mansion.
Did you name it Husks?
I don't know.
That sounds disgusting.
Their bodies, their sleeping bodies. Damon hopes Marcos wants the bodies back. All right,
Another great commercial, you guys.
oh yeah, Chili's baby back ribs.
An NSYNC did a version of it when they were stranded on an island, and it was the best.
Also, Fat Bastard did.
Well, NSYNC's was the best.
Okay, there needs to be a mashup with Fat Bastard dancing with the NSYNC guys.
Oh no. They're not dancing in theirs though. They're just stranded on an island.
There's a Now commercial. There's a current commercial with the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, it's like a Tide commercial or something.
Mm-hmm. They should put Fat Bastard in it. That's the name of a character in Austin Powers.
Right.
I'm allowed to say it over and over.
Well, their connection is that Britney Spears was in that Austin Powers. If there's a pop group that you want to put with Fat Bastard, Britney Spears is in the Austin Powers. You don't remember this?
No.
Yeah, she is. She's one of the bots, and she has the machine
Machine
gun
gun
jubblies.
jubblies?
Yeah,
In what? Like the
think
second or third one?
I think in Goldmember. Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. I've seen the first one probably 50 times, and I've seen the second and third one 2 or 3 times. Like the scale is
Skewed.
on one.
I'm surprised you didn't remember that.
I know that Beyonce is in one of them.
Yeah.
But she's not. I'm thinking of the original scene where Austin sees the fembots, but it's not that.
It's towards the end
Of a different one.
of the third one, I think.
By the end of the third one, I'm always too. No, I'm just kidding. It's not like I watch them all at once.
To what?
I was gonna say drunk, but if it was something else, that'd be even funnier.
Too tired.
That's when the ecstasy has fully kicked in.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
He was too tired by the end.
too tired. Why were we even talking about that? Oh, body's back, and also.
Oh gosh.
All right, Caroline is asking someone about something. I don't know. All right, Ty is chained up in the basement, but we aren't seeing him. Julian's in that body.
Right.
Caroline is saying that Damon is mad because Elena isn't with him. And Caroline doesn't want Damon to torture Ty. Julian.
Right. Because that's like still his body.
Stefan and Elena are in the car with Maria. She wants her husband back. All right. But where is he? We know where he's at. Stefan and Elena say they aren't together.
Right. She thinks that they're boyfriend, girlfriend.
But Maria says she thought they were fated soulmates.
Right. That's the lore of the doppelgangers.
But has that been disproven?
It has been, but other people still only know the lore.
But it's still the thing of... All right, spoilers for Dune 2. Dune 2 Want Me Baby. All right, spoilers for Dune 2. Isn't it kind of a thing, though, where it's a self-fulfilling prophecy? Where it's like, in Dune 2, he takes on the role that everyone has given him, basically. Mm-hmm. So is that true with these doppelgangers? Like, if enough people believe something, does that make it true? Yes or no? All right, go ahead, Ash.
I think it's a little bit of both because Stefan and Elena talk a lot about how they met and fell in love without ever knowing about the doppelganger situation. However, Stefan also was in love with Catherine before that. same face as Elena.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Which, yeah.
It's like, well, did you really fall in love with her? He still had a previous experience with a love that looked exactly the same.
Yeah. In all these stories...
I mean, Elena didn't know, but...
There's suspicions that can be aroused.
Yeah. I think that there could be some faded stuff in there, but I think also it could just be that's the kind of girl Stefan likes, and then also it could also be...
Yeah, she's his type.
Yeah, there's a little mixture in there. But they swear that they just met and fell in love without knowing anything of this prophecy and without it actually having any effect on their love.
Yes, but this is also coming from Elena, who is like, sure, I'm sire bonded to Damon, but that has nothing to do with me loving him.
Right, it's true.
She needs... If she went, 30 minutes away to college? She needs to go to somewhere else. She needs to go to college,
right.
Have different experiences.
Different guys.
Mm-hmm. Not just her same small town. Even when she was staying on the dorm, she would still commute to see whichever bro.
Right. You gotta leave your hometown, guys.
Yeah.
It's okay if you come back at some point, but you gotta get out of there for a little bit.
Otherwise, this exact thing will happen to you.
Well, maybe she did the right thing because she got to be with Damon and Stefan.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what people think, but then,
That's not how it works out.
All right. Ty is gone. Julian belongs to me, Maria. Magic. She starts talking about this magic will be stripped away layer by layer, this is the first time we're hearing about this.
Yeah, we're hearing about how it will come into effect when this plan of Marcos's goes into effect.
So Ty will go from being a hybrid to then just a werewolf and then dead. Mm-hmm. I do like this idea of the layers of magic getting stripped away. Also, it seems to be proximal in a way that spatially, you can run away from the epicenter. For a certain amount of time. Yeah, it's it starts at the core and spreads out a radius. Mm-hmm. Radially? Is that a word? Radically? I don't know. I said good words already.
Yeah. I wanted to use a radial.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Sure. Different radiuses.
If only when everyone can see what I'm doing with my hands.
Mm-hmm. Ty and Caroline. Okay, I thought this might be an episode Ty took off. But Ty is there with Caroline in the basement. But it's Julian.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You stole Ty's life. These travelers want revenge against the witches. They don't like grimoires, Ash. They don't like daylight rings, all that stuff. The daylight rings will not work.
Right. This is a good little speech because it reminds you of how many different facets of their life are magical. Yeah. So then later when they start burning in the sun, you're like, oh, it's the daylight rings. No, the grimoires and the spells and this and that. A good little reminder for the viewer.
Marcos wants to restore the balance. And he's violent and has no sense of humor, allegedly. Yeah. But then later he's like, ha 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 ha. Marcos is looking for the husks. I think they must have called them husks.
Ew. Can we say bodies?
There's a note from Damon in the cave.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
I didn't write down what it says, I don't think.
He's like, yeah.
4 bodies, call.
Yeah, he's like,
whatever.
Call Damon.
Damon is talking to the Sykes guy, but he's asleep, the banker. Damon gets a call from Marcos. Marcos walks in. And then, Marcos's game for the next couple scenes is, he's talking about remodeling the place and, he's going to live there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he is funny.
I know, and Damon's like, oh, I thought you weren't funny, but you're so hilarious.
Damon actually has a legitimately good joke where Damon's like, I know a concept of a home is new to you, but it's polite to knock, because Marcos is a traveler and he wants a home.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Caroline wants to kill Ty and then get him from the other side.
With everyone else.
Bonnie is packing up the dorm room. There's no spell, Bonnie tells Caroline. She made it up. The other side is collapsing, and everyone, including Bonnie, is going away for good. So don't kill Ty.
Yeah, don't kill Ty. He's not coming back if you do.
What if Caroline came and was like, I killed Ty? Like, before she talked to Bonnie about it?
I know. That's the kind of thing that does happen in this show because no one communicates with each other.
Yeah. That would be a bummer. Marcos is still looking around the bros mansion. Damon has the Traveler husk bodies doused in gasoline to burn them up. But then Marcos just kills one of them like, I don't care about this.
Every time you say husk, I think about a corn husk.
Uh-huh.
But in a body, and it's gross.
Ew. Okay, Marcos says that these guys returning to their bodies wasn't part of the plan. He doesn't even care about these, like, ones that Damon has. They're travelers everywhere.
Yeah, I think that he's like, I can sacrifice these guys on these couches that you're trying to hold as hostages and still do my plan because, like, I don't care.
Damon says, don't move to Mystic Falls. It's lame. Marcos says his plan is to break the witch's curse. The spell will ripple outward. Only pure magic will remain. Witch magic will be gone. And so will Damon. Damon tries to whoosh, but he starts fighting Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
Marcos is now transfused with doppelganger blood.
Mm-hmm.
And the spell has already begun.
Now he's super strong.
And then they cut to, like, all these travelers in the town, and they're breaking their little vials.
Yeah, which is what the male person delivered earlier.
Yes, Sam. To Karl.
Via Pam.
Via Pam, yeah. Karl and Pam. Maria is driving Elena and Stefan to Mystic Falls. Elena wants some blood. She's like, Maria, let me just tap that real quick.
I know.
Tap that vein.
Maria says no, but I like how Elena asked. She's like, do you mind if I just get a little from your carotid for a minute?
Liv is in the road. She's trying to kill Elena. Luke is there too. They're locked in the truck. It starts driving by itself. The truck crashes.
It's not driving by itself. They're spelling it on both sides. Like, because Luke is on one side and Liv is on the other side, and they're spelling it to go back and forth, and then it eventually just crunches like it was in a car accident.
And Maria's hurt. They magic at them, and they said, we need to kill one of you, doesn't matter which one. I don't know which one to choose. Bonnie is moving out. Enzo is there. He's mad. There's no solution. The travelers destroyed the magic holding the other side together. Enzo is not coming back. But he's not accepting that it's over. He's like, I'm just going to ride this out, basically.
Yeah.
He's like Captain Jack Sparrow, and he'll go down with the Black Pearl. Even if Davy Jones or that Squid Face or any of the other guys are after him. I don't know. That
was good.
That's as much of those movies that I know about.
That made sense, though.
Maria is there because she died.
Oh yeah, she's there on the going to the other side.
Bonnie recognizes her. She died. Tell Julie and I tried. She passes to the other side. She died. Tell Julie and I tried. She passes to the other side. Damon. Okay, Damon has another good joke about the traveler diet is trail mix and gruel.
He's just frying the travelers.
Marcos is talking about living at the house and remodeling.
Remodeling.
Yeah.
You always say that word weird.
Remodeling.
Yeah.
Remodeling. Julian whispers to Damon, bring him down here. With Damon's super hearing, he's like, all right, bring him down here.
Yeah, with his vampiring.
Okay, Ash. They go down to the wine cellar. Damon has a Bordeaux from 1945. Ash, In the stand, Larry Underwood. What spoilers for The Stand? Larry Underwood brings Harold a 1947 Bordeaux.
Did you remember this when you saw it in the scene?
Yes.
Oh man, you're a freak.
In many ways. Marcos is like, where are the doppelgangers? And then Damon kicks the key to Julian.
Yeah, so Julian can get out and like hybrid attack him.
Yes. Liv is about to kill Elena, following the Coven's orders. But their magic stops working.
Right, because the
spell
Traveler
has
spell has started.
The Travelers are chanting. They're breaking
Which
the
now
blood.
we're like, oh, this is good. Now Stefan and Elena aren't dead, but also it's bad because
They will be dead
They will
soon.
be dead soon. Yeah.
They start burning in the sun, Elena and Stefan. Their daylight rings aren't working. Mm-hmm. They run into the grill.
I like how they run into the grill, and there's always just other people there, and they're just like burned up, and they're like, we need a. Our daylight rings aren't working. Like, think about how many people in the town. I know probably everyone in the town is right now just a traveler, and Matt's just serving drinks to these traveler-bodied people. But I feel like there's always people just hanging around the town, hearing little bits and pieces of the vampires doing weird stuff. And they're like all melted, and they're like, we need to get underground.
Yeah.
And everyone else in the bar is just like, that's weird.
And, yeah, they're probably like, ugh, I know that my friggin' drink's gonna take forever now.
Yeah. Our only bartender is now gone to save the world again.
Go to the tunnels in the stockroom, like with Connor Jordan.
Yeah.
That's when we learned about those. Mm-hmm. The Travelers are all bleeding out of their faces, though, Ash.
Yeah,
that
that's
was gross.
no good.
In the tunnels, Elena is barfing water.
Yes.
Stefan is shot from the past. Oh, okay, now I remember.
Yeah, I was wondering why you weren't elaborating.
Stefan was shot by his dad.
Elena was drowning. Yeah.
I was like, Elena's barfing water, Stefan is shot from the past. That definitely makes sense to me. And I was like, oh, wait, it does. Okay.
But isn't that interesting when they talk about, like, the magic getting peeled away layer by layer? It's like, well, now they're going to die the way they were killed.
I know. I mean, this is good visually or whatever. If it were a thing that were to actually happen, it should be like, Stefan's like, oh, I've been dead for 500 years or whatever, so she's just a skeleton. And then Elena's like, I died 2 years ago or whatever, so I'm just
probably also
a skeleton. Yeah. There'd just be a bunch of skeletons.
Ew, that'd
immediately.
That'd be scary, though.
But everything has to take, like, it takes time, and so we can reverse it, blah, blah, blah.
Right, you gotta give them a chance.
For narrative.
Right.
But if it actually worked the way that it says it's going to work, it'd be like, oh, skeleton. Skeleton. It'd be like Oprah. You're a skeleton. You're a skeleton.
I was thinking spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah, that'd be good. They should play that song. And then in the series.
Oh.
Like, they lost.
They all were skeletons.
Damon and Marcos are in the Bros Mansion. Julian jumps up and bites Marcos, but his fangs go away. It's kind of like he's just biting him regular.
Yeah. He's like, what? What happened to my fangs?
Damon is burning in the sunlight. The Travelers start falling down. The other Traveler bodies, husks I wrote, start waking up. Now Damon is shot in the past. Ty starts choking. I forget what happened to him. They try to outrun the spell. Damon walks onto the road. A car comes. It's Jeremy.
Yeah.
That was fortuitous.
But earlier, Damon had, like, sent Jeremy on an errand, and we didn't really hear anything about it.
To go play Xbox, I think he said.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Caroline are packing. Now Caroline is freaked. Death is on the way. The spell is moving past Mystic Falls now. Maybe all the way to Whitmore College? Is it almost there?
I mean, it's traveling. The spell is traveling.
Is it nearly to Whitmore College, where we definitely know where that is?
Yeah. And you're always like, what is this location?
It's traveling through the Whitmore house, the dorm.
The little lounge where they have parties.
Was that... Yeah, that one building where they had a bunch of parties.
that
Was
bar
that
that
this-
had the upstairs.
Was this the same college where someone broke all that glass? Remember that scene?
I broke the glass.
Like there was a wall. They were on campus at a college, and everyone was in like this.
Oh, that was like that was a different college, and that was like a little cafe in the town. And they broke all the
But it was a
glass.
whole glass wall, and then they went to Buddy's house.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Different college.
Okay. It wasn't Whitmore College.
I don't think so. Now I'm second guessing.
All right. Where is Enzo? We don't know. Matt got blood for Elena and Stefan.
That was nice.
Jeremy rolls up with Damon, and it says, I'm assuming not Jeremy and Damon, I'm assuming Elena and Damon smooch as they grapple with mortality. But maybe it's Jeremy and Damon, and they're like,
We just love you,
we
bro.
only got a couple minutes left. All right, now Elena says she had Now Elena says she had a crappy day, and she needed the kiss like Damon did last episode, which we wondered the
Like if it was
legitimacy
allowed.
of that. Like, oh, you have a bad day, you can just kiss this person you're beefing with?
What's the consent there?
Yeah. Well, she did it back, so she must have been okay with it.
I guess so.
I don't know. We're not passing judgment. Jeremy and Matt go back to Mystic Falls. Elena and Damon go somewhere. Stefan just stands there.
I know. Stefan said he was gonna wait for Bonnie and Caroline or someone.
I don't know.
I think he is. I think that's all who's left.
Maria is dead in the truck. She looks at her own body from Ghostland. Enzo is there.
Excuse me.
We're dead. Let's both get out of this place. Do you know Marcos' spell? They're trying to figure out. And what Marcos did was overwhelm Bonnie, the anchor,
To be able to
to
come to
go
the other side.
from the other side to, let's say, the regular side. So Enzo and Maria want to do that.
Yeah, they're like that. We can do that spell, then we can come back.
And then I said, "Oh, she might get sucked away like Twisters, though."
Yeah,
And
like
then she does.
Catherine did.
And then she does get sucked away.
It's interesting that certain people get sucked away, but Enzo is still chilling.
Yep. Very convenient for him. Bonnie is leaving the dorm at Whitmore College. I said, I hope they all have internships next season because I'm tired of
You
Whitmore.
don't want the college.
Ash, Pete-diction, they all have internships.
Okay.
Next season. All right. Enzo is there. They hit a snag, Ash.
He's telling Bonnie.
Julian is looking for Maria. And I was like, will Stefan tell him? And he does, though.
Yeah. She died.
All right. She died. She saved your punk booty. The witches killed Maria, Ash. Julian is mad. Caroline tries to, it says snack his neck, but I think it was snap his neck. But hey, on a show about vampires, you might snack
You could
someone's
snack
neck.
a neck.
All right. But doesn't Ty rips out, well, it's Julian, rips out Stefan's heart. Dead doppelganger, stop the spell. So this stops the magic
Right.
by Ty Julian doing this, right?
Yeah, Julian just goes rogue
Uh-huh.
and rips out Stefan's heart. And
How
Stefan
did he
is
even-
gray and veiny.
He gets gray and veiny. How did Julian even know how... Well, Julian's a traveler. He must have known.
Yeah, they know the lore and stuff.
All right. Bonnie is talking to Enzo. They see Stefan.
And they're like, oh my gosh, how are you here? That's not good.
I know. And Stefan's like, tell me you found a way to bring us all back. He's real serious. She didn't. He's mad. He goes through. Back at the accident site or the fight site or whatever. Caroline is crying. Stefan is gray and veiny.
It's so sad.
It's crazy. The problem is, though,
When
Ash,
Stefan appears to Bonnie and you see how sad Bonnie is, and then you see Caroline just being like, help, help, it made me start tearing up.
I know.
That desperation is so emotional. It's so sad.
I agree that it's sad in theory. Well, it's sad in what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem with the show is you don't believe that anyone's dead. And also there's different layers of being dead.
Right. That's
So
true.
I'm like,
so you have hope. You still have hope.
I'm like, Stefan is gray and veiny. He's going to the other side. He's going to be around because he unless he gets sucked up, but then we would see that. So I know I'm going to see him next episode. And then there's going to be something that goes on. So it's just like...
And then, but also still Elena and Damon don't know, and that's a whole thing. And
when I saw this, Ash, what I thought about was the very creator of the show or whatever, K-Dubs, Kevin Williamson. Something that he did so correctly in Scream 1 was had Drew Barrymore, who was a huge star at the time, die in the first scene of Scream. So you're like, oh man, anyone could die.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I think to varying successes, Scream has continued to do that. But in this, it's like, oh, someone can die. Oh, they can be a thing. And then hybrid sire, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So K-Dubs is like trying to have it both ways, I feel like.
I think he also just doesn't want you to ever be able to know what's going to happen. Like, anything could happen. Like, in Scream 2, like, anyone could be the killer.
In Scream 2, yeah, that's a wild one.
No,
right
I mean
there.
in Scream
also.
But
Oh.
definitely Scream 2.
Okay.
Like, it's just anyone could be the killer. There could be multiple killers. There could be someone comes back from the dead and is a killer. Like,
Yes.
I think that's consistent for him. Like, he doesn't want it to be super predictable, but you do live in the world where anyone could die. Also, anyone could come back.
Yes, in a long, drawn-out series, we're at the end of season 5, basically. We've seen a lot of things happen.
For sure. And different supernatural beings.
Also, it's like they're upping the ante each time, it seems like, I guess.
I mean, but Stefan is like the main character.
Right.
He has the first Vampire Diary of all these peeps.
The titular diary.
Right. And he's dead. So how many fangs for this episode?
I'll go 2 fangs.
Yeah. It's 2.
Pretty intense.
I feel like it has to be 2 fangs, but I was crying at the end.
I give 1 fang for Pam and 1 for Karl.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give 2 fangs for Tyler, who lost them as Julian.
And he was just biting Marcos.
Just biting with his human teeth.
Marcos should have been like, well, that also hurt, you know?
Yeah. It was like, well, I gotta go get that cleaned out.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
It wouldn't be great to be bit by Ty anyway.
No. I mean, a human bite is also gross.
Like he was,
If it breaks the skin, you gotta go to the doctor.
he was in the Appalachians for a while or whatever he was doing.
So, we need Pete-dictions for the finale of season 5.
Okay. So, there's going to be some kind of thing where they what was it called? Overwhelm. They're going to like re-overwhelm Bonnie, the anchor, and she's going to be like, oh no, is she going to die because they're overwhelming her? But they're going to put the travelers to the other side. They're going to get the Mystic Falls people back in their bodies. And then in that scenario, Marcos is going to go back to the other side. Stefan's going to come back on this side. And I think Enzo is going to have to sacrifice himself. He's going, oh, all right, good, buddy. Oh, I was always meant to do this, blah, 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 you know. And Damon's going to be sad. And so, yeah, Enzo will be the casualty of war in this one, I feel like.
Yeah, there's definitely, if everything is going to come out all good, there's got to be some sort of casualty. So it's interesting that you're picking Enzo. All right, well, I'm excited to watch the last one with you and then chat about it. And then we'll take a little break before we start season 6
Yep, we'll probably be back in the spooky month of October. We'll finish out this season, take Sept off, and then probably come back in the spooky month of October. Fangtober.
Boo.